Welcome, curious minds. Today we're embarking on a deep dive into a topic that's really making waves. For some, maybe even tsunamis, generative AI.
Yeah, that's everywhere, isn't it?
It really is. Now, for some of you listening, it might feel like that, wake-up call, that jolt at 5 a.m., realizing just how fast things are changing. For others, maybe it's still more of a faint alarm sound way off, something for later.
Right, something on the horizon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you've got those early developers, and our sources say they're sounding alarms in, well, Oppenheimer-esque tones and rhythms.
Sensing that huge shift.
Yeah, that profound, irreversible change. So our mission today, let's try and cut through some of that artificial puffery, the hype,
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
and unpack this technology, really understand what it means for how you learn, how you work, maybe how you innovate.
Okay.
We'll explore the capabilities, sure, but also the inherent challenges, and hopefully equip you with strategies for navigating this jagged AI frontier, as our sources call it.
Indeed. And it's not just a new tool, is it? It's making us rethink some really fundamental stuff.
Like what?
Well, like intelligence itself, creativity, even our own, established ways of learning. This isn't about being replaced, not really. It's more about figuring out how to co-adapt with these powerful systems, how we evolve.
Okay, co-adapt. I like that.
Yeah.
So let's start with the big one, the hype.
Right. The elephant in the room.
You hear these bold claims everywhere. AI is taking jobs, revolutionizing everything, surpassing human intelligence. But what's the actual reality behind that artificial puffery? How much is real? How much is projection?
Well, what's fascinating, I think, is how often we attribute human-like intelligence to AI.
We do that a lot, don't we?
We really do. And it's not new. It predates computers, back to automata, old machines.
Huh.
Our sources even mention an AI's own vague bot definition of intelligence.
It's vague.
Yeah, it's their term for how AI often gives these kind of generic, non-committal answers to big questions, which just highlights how, fuzzy and context-dependent intelligence is.
Okay.
The word intelligence itself is so human-centric, which brings up a question. Does it actually matter if we anthropomorphize our chatbots?
You mean, does calling it smart help us?
Yeah, maybe it helps some people learn, bridges that gap. Or does it just blind us to what AI actually is? It's tricky.
That's a really interesting question. It taps into our own psychology, right?
Yeah.
If we call it intelligent, does that make it less scary, more approachable?
Maybe?
Or does it just set us up to misunderstand it? And this links to something core from our sources.
Yeah.
Humans are creatures of habit.
Oh,
Deeply.
definitely.
We have these patterned behaviors every day. Waking up, morning coffee, how we tackle problems.
Routines?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that includes how we learn. We tend to follow the same paths, the comfortable ones.
Precisely. And there's this great old Zen story that illustrates this perfectly, that chatty professor and the boatman. So the professor, full of theories, gets in a boat. He asks the boatman, do you know logic, astronomy? The boatman says no. Professor's like, you've wasted a quarter of your life.
Oh, dear.
But then a storm hits. Suddenly, it's the boatman's practical skill that matters, navigating the river.
Right. Theory goes out the window.
Totally. And the boatman asks the professor, can you swim? Professor says no. Boatman says, then, sir, you've wasted your entire life.
Wow. Powerful.
It's a great reminder, isn't it? Practical application often beats pure theory. And that's so relevant to how we learn today, especially with AI.
It really is.
Yeah.
The research we looked at stresses that learning passively through someone else's lecturing has become so ingrained
We're used to just consuming.
that it is difficult to disassociate those experiences with taking command of your own learning. But generative AI, it offers yet another alternative way of learning, one where you're really in charge.
You have to engage.
You have to. Okay, so if we're learning all the time, often habitually, how do we realistically fold generative AI into that, especially at work when things are busy?
Yeah, good question.
Our sources bring up this idea of interruptive learning,
Right.
which is about reframing those moments that pop up, new task, sudden problem, need info now, not as annoying setbacks.
But as opportunities.
Exactly. Opportunities to learn, adapt, stay current.
Think of your workflow like a race car. High performance.
Okay.
And generative AI can be like part of your pit crew, ready to jump in.
Interesting analogy.
So where do those pit stops, those interruptions happen for you? Is it when you need a creative spark?
Yeah, sometimes. Or drafting something quickly.
Or research on something unfamiliar. AI can step in there as a
Yeah.
creative helper, a co-editor, even a quick researcher. It can accelerate the removal of obstacles, streamline those repetitive bits,
Right.
or it can interject with creativity, the unexpected, spark ideas you wouldn't have had. The key is spotting those moments in your workflow.
But where do you even start? It can feel daunting.
Totally.
Our sources suggest adopting a kind of researcher-designer mindset for your own learning, like you're experimenting on yourself.
Yeah. Being methodical about it. It actually reminds me of principles from World War II. B.F. Skinner's ideas were used then to train soldiers really fast for complex jobs.
Really?
It wasn't passive learning. They designed specific training experiences to build practical skills quickly through reinforcement. Active doing, not just listening.
So how do we apply that now? How can you integrate AI learning at work and still, get stuff done?
Right. The practical side. The book suggests designing specific learning objectives for yourself, not just messing around with the AI.
Okay, like what?
Like saying, okay, today I want to acquire skills in, say, writing better summaries by using this tool for these reports. Or I'll apply the tool to my email drafting. Then maybe collaborate and share what you found with a colleague. And importantly, self-analyze. How did it actually help? Did it save time? Improve quality?
Self-analysis.
And they also suggest time boxing it, like dedicate 20 minutes to doing a task with AI, then compare it to how long it took you before. Be deliberate.
Okay, so let's unpack that. It really means taking personal responsibility for how you bring AI into your work.
Absolutely. It's on you.
Our sources say, identify your same olds.
Your repetitive tasks.
Yeah, those maybe tedious things AI could help with. And then figure out why you want to change how you learn or work. They suggest using the 5 whys method.
Oh, yeah, digging down.
Right. If you feel swamped by email, ask why. Because drafting takes ages. Why? Because I overthink the phrasing. Why? Keep going.
Until you hit the root cause.
Exactly. And that root cause might reveal where AI could genuinely help, not just for speed, but for better quality thinking or communication.
That makes sense. Getting specific.
But understanding why isn't the whole picture, is it? Because the sources really hammer this point. Reading about AI is one thing, doing it is another.
Oh, totally.
That's where the dopamine rush of doing comes in. To really learn this stuff, you have to practice, engage, create, not just passively take what the AI gives you.
It's like learning an instrument, right? You wouldn't get good at piano just by reading music theory books.
No way.
You have to practice scales, develop dexterity, commit to it, make mistakes.
Build that muscle memory.
Exactly. And it's similar with Gen AI. You need to identify your interests, set goals, commit to practice, apply knowledge iteratively, get feedback, reflect.
So the AI gives you the raw material.
Yeah, think of it like that. Rough drafts, sketches, variations, like a musical phrase or a chord progression, but you're the musician who shapes it.
Right. Because the AI output, it's often, incomplete, isn't it? A prototype.
A work in progress, as the sources say. I know, I see that all the time. It's rarely the finished article first time around.
Never.
The real magic, the actual generative part, happens when you, the human, step in and pilot that process. Steer it towards your goal.
Pilot the co-creative journey. I like that phrasing.
And there's another great story for this, Diogenes and Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
Alexander the Great, conquering the world, visits Diogenes the philosopher, who's just chilling, sunbathing. Alexander offers him anything he wants. Power, riches.
Wow. Big offer.
And Diogenes just says, yeah, move a little to the side. You're blocking my sun.
Brilliant.
It's about knowing what you actually need, right? Cutting through the noise. With AI, it's seeing the output not as the final answer, but maybe just a small piece of the generated puzzle, a starting point for your vision, what you actually need.
And that brings us to prompting then, the actual interaction.
Exactly. And it's not about finding some magic killer prompt. Forget that.
It's more iterative.
Yeah, it's about evolving your language,
Right.
understanding constraints, like setting rules for a haiku, the syllables, and then refining, going back and forth with the AI.
That constant dialogue.
Right, that dance of asking, getting something back, refining, that's what builds your critical thinking, your discernment as the user.
Okay, so as we get better with these tools, we also have to face the tricky stuff, the ethics, the practical problems.
Absolutely essential.
Our sources push for this idea of suspicious curiosity.
Embrace the potential, but stay critical.
Be aware of the implications.
All right. And one huge area for that is what the sources call copy wrong.
Copy wrong. Okay.
It covers a bunch of ethical and legal headaches. First, the training data. These AI models learn from massive data sets.
Often scraped from the internet.
Exactly, including tons of copyrighted stuff, often without permission. That raises big questions about the AI's foundation.
Yeah, huge questions.
Then who owns the output? If an AI generates an image or text, who holds the copyright? The user, the AI company.
Yep.
Is it even copyrightable?
We're in a total legal precedent vacuum, aren't we?
Yeah.
The laws just weren't built for this.
Precisely. It's a massive issue, and honestly, everyone creating stuff is grappling with it. It's not abstract.
No, it's very real. The book we used actually talks about their own process for images.
Oh, yeah.
They detailed scanning hundreds of images, using Google's likeness scan, running things through AI detectors like Hugging Face, all just to try and make sure they weren't using copyrighted work.
Wow, that's a lot of effort.
It shows the practical hoops you have to jump through. The responsibility really falls on the human user right now.
It really does. And another big concern, something most people have probably bumped into, is hallucinations.
Ah, yes. When the AI just makes stuff up.
Pretty much. Incorrect, nonsensical, misleading info. But the key thing our sources clarify is AI chatbots don't think. They don't have intent like we do.
So why do they hallucinate?
It happens because the model is just predicting the next most statistically likely word based on patterns in its training data. It's not understanding concepts.
It's pattern matching, not thinking.
Exactly. And this links to surface-level coherence. The AI prioritizes sounding fluent, sounding plausible, over being accurate or nuanced, and also over fitting. That's when the AI knows its training data too well.
Like it memorized the textbook but can't apply it.
Perfect analogy. It can recite facts, but can't handle variations or novel situations well. So it might confidently state something wrong, or even invent facts because that fits the pattern it learned. It's optimizing for fluency, not truth.
Okay. So what does all this mean for us, the users? It means we need to grapple with the black box nature of these algorithms.
That term we hear a lot.
We might remember algorithm from math class, but our sources explain them basically as sets of instructions that analyze a large amount of data.
Like a very complex recipe.
Yeah, good way to put it. You see ingredients go in, cake comes out, but you don't see every single reaction inside the oven. That's the black box. The internal workings are hidden, complex, hard to predict or explain every output.
And the influence of these algorithms goes way beyond just generating text or images.
How so?
Well, our sources mention algorithmic collusion. They cite lawsuits in real estate.
Collusion, like landlords fixing prices.
Sort of, but maybe not deliberate human conspiracy. It's more that algorithms, designed independently by different landlords to maximize rent, might all learn similar pricing strategies from market data.
Ah, so the algorithms kind of coordinate unintentionally.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
Leading to prices being pushed up across the board. It's subtle, but potentially powerful. Which raises a big question for you, the listener. How do you maintain that suspicious curiosity about the algorithms shaping your world, from your news feed to prices?
That's a really critical question. And all this whole deep dive into AI, it forces us to look at something even bigger, our own definition of intelligence.
Yeah, it really shakes things up.
What does intelligent even mean now?
Well, think back to Alan Turing. His work, like Unorganized Machines, the Turing test.
Yeah.
It laid the foundation for seeing the brain as a kind of computer.
Right, the computational model of the mind.
But our sources point out there's been significant pushback from cognitive scientists, philosophers, people like Hubert Dreyfus, Roger Penrose.
Love their argument.
They argue that human consciousness, understanding, intuition, these involve non-algorithmic processes. Things machines, at least as we build them now, just can't replicate. It's a deep debate about what makes a mind a mind.
And the debate's expanding beyond humans, too, right?
Absolutely. Researchers like Franz de Waal, the primatologist.
Studying ape intelligence.
Yes. And Monica Galliano in plant neurobiology. They're challenging our very anthropocentric view, our human-centered view of intelligence.
That's really?
Yeah, presenting evidence of complex problem-solving, learning, even memory in animals, and yes, even plants. It suggests intelligence isn't one thing. It shows up in diverse ways across the animal kingdom, maybe the plant kingdom too.
Wow. Okay, that really broadens the perspective.
It forces us to, and the language we use for AI, calling it thinking or understanding, just muddies the waters further.
So it's crucial to be precise.
Yes, to develop a more nuanced and accurate understanding of what AI can and cannot do, Ground your use of it in reality, not just the hype.
You know, this reminds me of his historical parallel, Thomas Edison.
Oh, yeah.
Back in 1922, he predicted that the motion picture is destined to revolutionize our educational system, supplant largely, if not entirely, the use of textbooks.
Oh, sound familiar.
Totally familiar. These grand claims about new tech revolutionizing education, they're not new at all.
Been hearing it for decades, centuries maybe.
You could even argue maybe that ancient cave paintings, Lascaux, Cueva de los Manos showing hunts, rituals, maybe that was an early impulse to teach, pass on knowledge. We've always been learning, always finding new tools for it.
That's a fantastic point. And it highlights that the technology itself isn't inherently good or bad. It's us. It's our values, our choices that matter.
Like the early internet, the utopian dreams versus the reality now.
Exactly like that. The narratives we craft around AI, the values we encode into these systems, and the ways we choose to deploy them will shape our future in profound ways. It's a mirror to us.
And those sources reveal, which I find really optimistic actually, is that when we engage properly with generative AI, critically, thoughtfully, we improve. We improve our bias sensors. We improve our discernment. We improve our critical engines. Interacting with AI makes us sharper.
That's a powerful takeaway. We become better thinkers because of the interaction.
Yeah. So as you, our listeners, go forward and work with generative AI, maybe consider this.
Okay.
The ability to quickly generate variations, prototypes, rough ideas. That's incredibly useful, no doubt.
Powerful tool.
Yep.
But what unique human quality, the thing that sometimes gets overlooked when we're focused on speed and efficiency, what becomes more vital, more essential when you're faced with this endless stream of AI content?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's that spark, the human agency.
Agency.
Yeah, your unique ability to tell truth from nonsense, to refine something rough into something meaningful, to iterate until it's truly original, and maybe most importantly, to infuse that generated stuff with your vision, your ethics, your purpose.
So the human steering, the human values.
That's the real generative power, I think. Not the machine's output, but what you do with it. So keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep designing your own learning journey in this. Well, this incredible new landscape,